was a blast. Absolutely, that's why I met him.
About an hour and
Yeah.
The full set of on-car adjustments. What's going on, everybody? Josh here from Operational Speed Supply. Tonight, we've got Rusty and Trey from Battleborn Coatings. They are local here to Clarksville, and they do a lot of powder coating stuff. Go ahead, introduce yourself, guys.
Yeah, so like you said, we're Battleborn Coatings. Trey and I own the business. We started up about 5 years ago. Really specialize in high custom-end coatings for a lot of automotive, motorcycle stuff. But we also do everything from like farm equipment to industrial things. I think the gist family owned and operated.
Yeah. You need powder coating. We're your guys. Whether it's two-tone wheels or industrial pillars for your shop, it really doesn't matter. If you need something, we got you covered. But
so Battleborn's been a huge sponsor to the Autocross, what started out as Clarksville Autocross. We kind of rebranded into Operation Autocross. They have been a huge supporter, a lot of behind the scenes. Most of the equipment that we use, cones and everything, they help support. They help us out with timing and just personnel people, helping us run these events. Instrumental in Cone Strike last year, which turned out to be an awesome event. We had Jamie Elliott's wicked vet out there clocking well over 100 miles an hour on the track. John Ward pulling a hard second place with that thing. It was a lot of fun. Paul Brimmeyer says that it looks like an audition couch, guys.
Am I positioned right?
Yeah.
Do we need to adjust for the audition? Paul, I'll tell you what. I'll let you go ahead and give us a grade on this, Paul. So Paul Brimmeyer is owner of a company called Jenna Ice up in Clearfield, Pennsylvania. I can't remember the dang name of the town. Up in Pennsylvania, and he supports the racetrack that I go to all with the ice and everything. And got a beautiful Camaro. He's got a beautiful first-gen Camaro. So Paul, thanks for watching, bro. But these guys have done a lot to help out with everything that we've done at the Autocross. Our very first sponsor for this, and they helped supply the T-shirts and everything the first year we were out doing this. And so when the news came that we were making the transition to move Operational Speed Supply down to Florida, Rusty and I had a few conversations about this, and Rusty and Trey are going to take over, and we are shifting gears to these guys to run the Autocross. I'll be here for probably the first 3 events of the season to help out, make sure everything runs smooth, and any chance I can make it back, I will definitely be making it back up from Florida to honestly just race and not have to worry about running the event. You guys can have the fun of running the event and watching everybody have a good time. I'll be having a good time with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I'm super excited about the content we're going to be able to create, and just bringing everybody out and having a good time. That's really what it's all about. Get your family out there, get your friends out there, and just, show everything that you've been building. And, maybe you might even need some powder coat throughout the process,
That's right. So Paul says that 3 dudes on a couch. We might need to tune out.
Thought it was supposed to be a white leather couch.
You're in the middle. You're in the middle.
It's going to take both of y'all to handle it.
I was told there was going to be females here, but
it's an empty house. Sorry, guys. Not even the animals are female.
All the dancers missed the call to show up.
They did miss the call. Hey, if you've got people send them this way.
Yeah.
Ashland City, Tennessee. So what are you guys trying to – you've seen where the Autocross has started from and where it's kind of gone, and we've the one thing that I'm very proud of with this is that I never intended it to be a series to be the end-all be-all. My goal was to get people that have never autocrossed before out there to have fun, and people that have autocrossed to just have a good time. And the one thing that I'm really proud of is that every year we had a turnover, about 10 drivers we wouldn't see anymore. But many times those drivers we didn't see anymore, it wasn't because they don't like autocross. It's because they stepped up to one of the more sanctioned competitive series, and they kind of progressed themselves, almost like going from high school to college. And so that's something I'm really proud of. And not only that, but we get our regulars that have been there every event. Like the Plum family is always out there supporting, and Edmund and Alyssa Daniels, they've been out there every event, and it's awesome to have them out there and see everybody out there running. But where do you guys see this going over the next few years?
So I put a little bit of thought into this, and for me, it was really a couple things. So I really did enjoy the fact that I used to autocross years back. It's been a long time. I don't have anything now to do. No vehicles that really work well. But what I didn't enjoy about it was very intensive on the rules side, the tech side, as far as which class you're in, whatnot. I really liked that we kind of had it in a way that it was, like you said, a very introductory autocross, to where it was more about you competing against yourself and not so much about whether or not you're going to win your specific class. We also focused last year a lot on seat time. Yeah. I want to bring as much seat time to the people there. And one aspect that I'm really looking to push this year is, we have a lot of adults coming out to the autocross events to run. But the last event, we had a little kid in a go-kart, my son, and he got a lot of positive feedback. And so I started to kind of spread the word there too, to see about bringing more of the kart racing as well, to see if we can get that started. Because to be honest, our future for autocross and for motorsports in general starts with our kids. And if we kind of have all the fun ourselves and let it die out before our kids get a chance, it won't make it long term. We see a lot of drag strips, that are going under and different things like that. And so I want to make sure that we get young youth into it as well. So that was definitely something that I thought. I liked it to be family oriented, something that, you could come out, have a good time, not be super stressful on you, get a lot of time in your seat, and be something that if you want to race, your kid could race too in a class.
So I know that Steve Heiss just popped up as watching. Steve, if you can hear me there, super happy to have you watching. And I'll tell you, we just had his car in here last week, and it's going to be a formidable opponent for a lot of people. Steve and I were talking. I'm going to go ahead and call out Robert Foley right now. He generally runs a C7 Grand Sport, but he's also got a Gen 5. He's also got a Gen 5 Camaro that he road courses, and it's kind of well built. And they are both very similar builds as far as what they do, minus the fact that Robert's got a lot of aero on his car. So I want to see this competition. Robert Foley v. Steve Heiss, the Camaro v. Mustang. I did a little bit of test driving of Steve's Mustang, and everybody knows I'm a Chevy guy. But I'm gonna tell you right now that Mustang handles really good. And we threw Willwoods on that thing, and it's going to be a beast.
I'll tell you something. I thought that's why we got along so well. You're a Chevy guy, and I'm basically a Ford guy. I like my Mustangs, so I kind of try to keep pulling that way. But yeah, I last year your cone strike, I thought that was a fantastic way to end the year, and I hope that we are able to pull something like that off this coming year. That was super fun, and we brought a lot of cool cars. I do enjoy the local crowd, but to see a lot of the big guys coming as well was super neat.
Oh yeah. We had names that have been nationally recognized for their driving abilities. Jamie Elliott's ran the Ultimate Streetcar Association quite a few times, and if you've ever gone to one of those events, it is a no holds barred race, and there's some serious hardware that shows up. John Ward, second at the SCCA Nationals in CAM, which is the Classic American Muscle. It's pretty much an open class, minus a few little rules here and there, but you got to have a 200 turbo tire, and that's about it. And so he took second place to another Camaro, and the Camaro that beat him was an SS. His is the Camaro that beat him was an SS with the V8, the 6.2 LT1. He got beat just barely, and he's running a 4-cylinder in that thing.
Wow.
So for him to be able to run, I think he was within a second, like 1.3, 1.4 seconds at Cone Strike, in a 4-cylinder Camaro.
It performed really nice last year.
I mean, he just crushed it out there. And so we had Dane Howell come down in the Love truck. That thing was neat.
Yes.
That was freaking cool. And so we've got a lot of cool people that come out and race their stuff. And you see a lot of local stuff, too, that comes out. And they just get after it and want to have fun.
Hey, who knows? Maybe in the future we can do, like a Ford versus Chevy, showdown. And, let us know in the comments, if that's something you guys would like to see, or maybe it's American made versus tuners, maybe something like that. I haven't heard a lot about tuners out there, but I'm sure they're out there. So
that's something that's been cool about this series, right? Over the years, I've had a couple firsts from Clarksville Autocross, Operation Autocross. I got to ride for the first time ever in a GTR. It was an R32, badass car, super clean, and the guy was out there racing it. I'm like, hell yeah. I drove my first Porsche Cayman, badass car. That was a lot of fun. And then we've got an Acura NSX that comes out almost every event we've had. Super, super awesome car, super clean car, and the guy drives the hell out of the thing.
Yes, he does.
We call him Mr. Wolf when he shows up. So it's been a lot of fun. Cameron Clark just tuned in. He's got a badass vet that he'll be running this year. He ran into a few issues last year prior to Cone Strike and had to get a different car into. But yeah, he got in there and he ran really well. And he's another one of the guys he's improved every single one of these events. So it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of people that come out there. Edmund Daniels has been out quite a few times with his Nissan hardbody, and he tears it up in that thing. It is bone stock. There is literally nothing done to that truck.
What's the lady with the Nissan? Do you know who that is? She shows.
Oh, that's Paula. So that's Steve Heiss's wife. That's
okay,
Paula Heiss.
She's one of my favorite of the whole track.
Yeah.
She shows up with the stock little Nissan and runs it hard and has a blast doing it.
Well, it's not stock anymore. We put an exhaust on for her like 6 months ago. So she's got an exhaust now.
Okay.
It'll sound even better as she's tearing it up. But here's the thing about Paula though. Like, she's not afraid to get out there and run with everybody else. And she's improving every single time. And so when it comes to the autocross, you don't need a race car.
right.
I didn't believe this until I had the car in the shop myself and it was on the lift. That Nissan has 200,000 miles.
Oh wow.
I had it up on the lift and it was pristine.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
It looks like it doesn't have 10 miles on
right.
it. That thing is pristine, and she gets out there and gets after it. And Steve's Mustang, it's just as good. It's just as clean. Like, I'm doing the suspension on this thing, and we did a ton. We did control arms, control arms in the front, upper and lowers in the rear, shock springs, everything. On a car with 130,000 miles that's 13 years old, you'd expect to have a few choice words when you're taking stuff off, but I had nothing. Right. Everything came off like it was supposed to, as if I was at the dealership and the car came off the lot.
But that's what I like about the Clarksville track. We bring out everything from the wild vets and Chevy loves to the bone stock cars that come out and still have fun. Everyone's having a good time. You don't have to have something so crazy. A lot of us car guys, get in this mindset that we got to have a full blown race car to get out there. And most of the time, the car can probably outdo it, but at least my skill can.
Well, that's one of the biggest questions we get. We'll scroll Facebook groups and whatnot, and from the business side of things, like, who's looking for parts? And one of the biggest questions, like, hey, I just bought this 5th gen Camaro, this S550 Mustang. What do I do? I want to go autocross. I want to road race. Well, the first thing you do is put your butt in the seat and go drive.
Exactly. And honestly, when it comes down to it, seat time is the most important thing. I mean, you can be driving whatever, but seat time, I can just say it again and again. Seat time is where you're going to find it. I mean,
and really, it doesn't matter what you're racing, whether you're doing bracket racing, seat time is going to help you get your reaction times down and get you out of the hole. And the more that you have, the better you're going to be in the long run.
Right. Just get your brain going, get your motor skills going, get more used to what you need to be, doing.
Bring yourself one with the car.
Right.
Heck yeah, man. So that's good. So this year we have, let me go ahead and grab my phone. I screenshot this because the schedule hasn't been posted yet. So we'll get it posted. But what we're looking at for this year is, I think, 6 events. Is it 6 or 7?
I believe it's 6.
All right. Let me, anybody that's normally watching knows that my technical difficulties with this. All right. 7 events.
Oh, it is 7.
So March 17th, season opener. April 14th. Man, you guys are like cutting it for tax day.
Right.
All right.
April 14th for the second event. May 19th for the third. Taking a little bit of break in summer just to let people generally the summer attendance is down. People are taking vacations, doing their, having a good time, whatnot. So taking a little bit of break for that. August 11th is the 4th event. September 15th for the 5th, October 6th, and then the end of the year event will be November 3rd. So that's a good schedule.
And then you had talked to, is the clinic a possibility through those months off? Because that was something we kind of mentioned before, maybe a possibility of putting together a clinic.
I think that's definitely a possibility to put together a clinic. We try to do one once a year, and I think that it's a really good tool to help a lot of people kind of get themselves, if they've been out of the car for a while, get them reacquainted with the car. But the other thing too is it helps if you're new, it gives you a little bit of an edge as far as knowledge base, because the clinic's designed to focus on specific skill sets. We're going to focus on braking, focus on turning. We'll create a couple different styles of course where you're learning slalom, so it's quick transitions, sweepers where it's a long, slow transition, the braking piece too. And we add all those elements in, and then we end it with running through an entire course. And so the clinic is something we're going to try to make happen. And that's something you and I will work through as we get closer to June, July timeframe.
Sounds good.
Cool.
So Tim Gordon says his Miata taught him more than his Camaro has.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I had little to no respect for Miatas until I started autocrossing a long time ago, and it blew my mind.
Miatas are the cheater car.
Yes, they're like the unlock code.
Yeah, 2,200 pounds, and they're tiny.
Yeah.
It's like a go-kart.
Yeah, we were just talking before we started this podcast, and I was like, is there any monster Miatas out there? And you brought up
Hector. So Hector is one of the drivers underneath the OSS banner. And he's had his work schedule has picked up quite a bit in the last year and a half, so he hasn't raced as much. But he has got a wicked ND Miata. I think it's a 2016.
I couldn't tell.
And I think it's a 16. But he has it's got a giant wing on the back of that thing. He's built a splitter and a nice whole front air dam and everything in the front. It's been gutted, and he's sitting on coilovers. Some engine work done to that thing, and then it's fast. It's something like even my Camaro is having a hell of a time keeping up with him, and I've got another 200 horsepower. Well, no, at this point, about another 400 horsepower, and he is a lightning rod in that thing.
Man, I'll tell you what, not only do they get good gas mileage, they cut corners. I'll tell you what.
They cut all the corners. So, Rusty, we've talked a little bit in the past about a car that you've been building and kind of put on the back burner for a little while. You've been in the Jeep thing, and you can autocross a Jeep if you want. We're not going to say no, but it might not be the most ideal thing to autocross. I mean,
the Jeep thing, the Bronco thing,
a little bit of everything. But I if you're referring to the notch I have,
let's hear about the notch.
I've got an '87 Mustang notch. It's got a 10-point cage, subframes tied in, all the work. It's got a nice paint job and everything on it. It was actually a drag race car for a long time. It was at one point it was roughly, I think, a 1,200 horse street car. Not very street, but streetable, I guess. You get to Nashville and back.
Barry, if you're watching, that sounds like a Barry Cook.
Yeah. I argued with Barry Cook so much about that. I was like, street cars. It's not a street car. It's not.
But, it is very much a Barry car.
It was streetable, though, I guess you could say. But it made some big power. It was really fast. Got burned out on the drag race. So I tore it all apart, sold everything drag race off. But the car itself's got some sentimental value to me. And so I held on to it. And I met Josh, and we started talking. I thought it was super cool that he was keeping the Autocross alive in Clarksville. That he started this up and got it going. And so I kind of had this dream years back that I was like, one day, I got a couple of young kids that, everyone that's got some kids kind of know how that is to put them first sometimes. But I basically told them, I was like, man, one day I want to get the notch back out. I want to build it. This time I'm building it for Autocross. I'm going to build it to where it's got, I got like half the parts kind of stowed away. Don't tell the wife. She doesn't need to know anything about that.
Hope she's not watching.
Yeah, hope she's not watching. She sees parts and goes, what's that for? And I'm like, nah, I just got to go.
If you order through OSS, I mean, we'll make sure they deliver it here, and we'll discreetly ship them. Just drop them off the house an unmarked box.
Yes, but yeah. So the car's been sitting there, but it's a perfect, clean slate of paper. It's got a really, really robust chassis for it. It stiffened up real well. It was lightweight. I think when I had it at kind of probably something close to similar to what I would probably do in the autocross world, it weighed in with me in at 2,800 pounds. It was like 26.15. So I think I could get it pretty close to that again, to where it would make probably 400 or 500 horse and I don't know, 2,600 pounds. I don't want to go too crazy. I want to make something that's got a lot of low and mid end. Nothing too wild. I want to do good
traction.
Yeah, I want 315s all the way around on it, or something along that line.
I say let's throw a blower on it. Oh, there was a blower on it.
At one point there was a big. At one point it had a big BDS 871 at one point.
Oh God!
Big 871 on a small block.
Oh geez.
That was after it was really fast. It kind of toned down, and we just wanted something that was going to be cool.
Yeah.
Too dominant.
A BDS is there's nothing cooler than BDS on top.
All polished. That was neat. It was, and it had a back seat. The car still had a back seat.
I mean, if it was a Chrysler and your head was shaved, I'd start calling you Dom.
Yeah. Well, I didn't twist the
American Dom.
You didn't twist.
Yeah, I didn't twist the chassis, taking off the line. But yeah, that's something. But since then, I still haven't got to touch nothing on it. But like I said, last year, my nephew and my son, they were helping work the track. They worked the track most of the summer with us. And
great cone chasers.
Yeah, great cone chasers are quick. They're a lot faster than I am.
Yep.
And they had a blast with it. And we figured out partway through the end that we remembered that they make little goat carts, shifter cart style. And we said, hey, we can do this for you kids and let you run it. And so we went out and got a couple of them. And my nephew's building his. It's getting close to being done. Now my son's got one that we raced last year, and my daughter, we're just finishing hers up right now. So my intent is to get them out there, and we had a lot of positive feedback, I thought, from people on the track that day.
Yeah, definitely. And when we ran the event on base at Fort Campbell, we had 2 shifter carts that showed up for that as well. And holy cow, those things were just wicked fast. They were about 2 seconds faster than everybody else out there. It was insane.
Yeah.
And especially with the bigger course, it definitely adds to it for the shifter cart guys. And it just expands the fact that this is an event for everybody,
right? And
not for those that have purpose-built cars,
right?
And that's the biggest thing about it. It's funny you talk about your Mustang, how it went from a street car. It sounds to me it was kind of one of those pro street type builds where it was just big. You probably had some big fat tires and some skinnies on that thing.
Yeah.
And so what's interesting about that though is. If any of you guys know Brian Finch, he was on Are You Faster Than a Redneck? He's got a 72 Camaro, really awesome build. That car used to be a pro street car, and then he found Autocross, pulled it apart, rebuilt it, and now he's sitting there with 315s all the way around, 700 horsepower LS.
Too cool.
Ripping around the Autocross and the road course with that thing, just crushing it.
Too cool.
Well, my old school days when I got into Autocross, I didn't know what Autocross was, but I joined the military. I was in the Army, stationed Fort Campbell, and found out about Autocross through a buddy of mine, Jeremy Allman. He got me to come with him a couple times, and I had a Gen 2 Lightning, and I decided to take it out there, and I had an absolute blast for a couple of years with that truck.
Oh yeah,
just little mods every few months or whatever, just upgrading things on it. But it was super cool to race a full size truck out there, and it was reasonably fast. It hung with generally your Mustang Camaro, medium builds, nothing crazy, nothing like your car. It wasn't that quick at all, but it was a blast to go out there and run.
Yeah, wait till Jimmy gets his truck done.
His truck's insane.
Jimmy's truck is looking pretty beastly. So Jimmy's got a C10 and 88, I think 88, 89, old body style GM, and he is doing a custom fab chassis for this thing, and he is going full tilt. But it's going to be a beast.
I would say that's a wolf in sheep's, or a sheep in wolf's clothing, or what?
Wolf
in sheep's clothing.
Something along those lines. Yeah,
it's nasty.
We got a buddy, Chris Besworth. He's got a C10, and I'll tell you what, man. I haven't seen many C10s perform better or look better. He may or may not be watching this, but he has got a badass C10. What you probably know more than me.
72 C10 short bed regular cab.
Oh yeah.
It is LS3 that is stroked and bored to a 422 cubic inch.
It's blown now.
It's got a I don't remember what.
Well,
it's Frankenstein heads on it now.
Oh yeah.
It has 2.65 liter positive displacement blower. I'm drawing a blank on the brand.
Is it a Whipple?
It's not a Whipple.
Oh, it's a Magna.
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 Yeah, one of the Magnusons.
I think Magnuson.
Yeah, Magnuson.
Yeah,
That's what it is. Yep.
But it's a turbo 400 build transmission. It is a Fab 9 housing, rear end stuff that I built, 4-linked. But he built it for you're an LS guy or a Chevy guy. He built it for the Grand Champion.
Oh, yeah, for LS Fest.
Yeah, LS Fest. He built it as that kind of, not just for that, but that's his goal with life with the truck was he wanted a drag truck, an autocross truck, and a street truck. And so it's a 4-digit, 1,000+ horsepower truck.
Hey, I bet we can get him down here if someone wants to race him. Or someone wants to,
Oh, it's a beautiful truck, though. Yeah,
I bet we could get him down here.
I promise you, there's people that'll bring it out there. Jimmy would be all for the challenge once he gets
I would be honest, Jimmy would hurt his feelings. I think.
Is there any F100s out there? If there's an F100 out there ready to race, comment because I got your back.
So, got a couple of people watching. Sean Alldinger's watching now. Sean's got he had the blue ragtop first-gen Camaro. That was a Cone Strike.
Oh, yeah. Yep, I remember.
Badass car.
Beautiful car.
He's another guy. He raced his way into the Invitational at SEMA last year for Optima. He's going to be back down at Sebring again this year. The dude can drive.
You may have seen him.
That Camaro is gorgeous. Like, it is a clean-looking car, and awesome to see him come out for that thing. What's nuts about that, too, is that I was out at SEMA, helping one of my guys, Chris Brown, getting his car set up and everything, doing some trackside support for him as he was running in the Invitational. And Sean ran the Invitational, did pretty good out there, and then drives all the way back from Vegas. He's out of Mississippi, just outside of Memphis, all the way back. And then the next weekend, he's up here. Like, the dude traveled literally coast to coast down here to come out and race with us at Cone Strike. So that was awesome.
That's super cool. Yeah.
Trey went out. You went out to SEMA this year with Battleborn to represent us.
We went out there, had a great time. We got to watch some autocross. We got to watch some drifting. Got to watch some burnouts. I don't know if you guys seen Zach Pinnock out there with his F100, LS swapped F100, just roasting the tires off.
So what's funny about this, at SEMA, we did the SITREP live from the pits at the Optima Challenge, right, for the Invitational. And as we're going through there, we're talking to a couple of our customers and everything. And Sean's one of our customers, and he's been a really good customer, very loyal guy. And we were talking to him on the SITREP, and lo and behold, Tanner Faust walks right up, cuts into the middle of it. He didn't realize we were filming. And he starts asking Sean about some stuff on his car because he was trying to get it done on his car because something broke or whatever on the drift car that he was out there tearing it up in. And, so we got podcast bombed by Tanner Faust on our Vegas edition of the SITREP.
Proof of it.
I know. It was cool. It was really cool. So yeah, it's interesting the people that you run into and that you end up meeting in this whole industry. How
awesome.
Closely connected you actually might be.
It always blows your mind how small all the motorsports networks are out there. Just the world out there is so tiny when you get out there to, whether it's PRI, SEMA, whatever other, big show or event like that.
And I got to say, Justin Pollock was out there killing it. I don't know if he's watching this or not, but Justin, you were killing it. Repping the Falcon tire Mustang. You know?
That's awesome.
He was killing it, man. It was a good time. SEMA, I recommend if anybody has not been to SEMA, go have fun. You're gonna be with nothing but car people, so you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, definitely a good time.
Bring your walking shoes.
The first year I wore the wrong shoes and I threw them away after 2 days and went and bought different shoes.
that was me this year.
Oh,
he
man.
told me, and I didn't listen, and I regretted it. Bad.
Good stuff. So we're gonna get the schedule posted up. Man, I'm having technical difficulties again. You just go figure. Steve Heiss says that he wants to thank you guys for your time for putting in that you're going to be putting in to keep up what we started with the Autocross.
Yeah, man, no worries. We honestly just want to bring as many people out as possible. Bring your family out, bring your friends out, and we just really want to have a good time. Anything auto related, we want to do it, and tell as many people as possible. And we definitely will.
Heck yeah. So it's gonna be a good season. We'll be out there together for the first few of these things as we kind of hand everything over to you. But we'll get these events up on the Autocross page. Make sure everyone has a view on that. We'll start sharing them out there and things like that. And we hope to see you guys at the track. So
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
well, Trey, Rusty, thanks for joining me tonight on the casting couch, the audition couch, as everyone likes to say. Cameron Clark, anyone you guys would recommend for a wiring issue diagnosis? Is that on the vet?
Yeah, what kind of vehicle are we talking?
I'm pretty sure it's on his vet.
Like the stock OEM style.
Yeah,
wiring?
C5 vet.
I don't know on who I'd recommend on that. If it was more race car wiring, I have a few people that would be involved. But
Cameron, shoot me a message after this. Shoot me a private message, man. We'll get you scored up and get somebody to help you out. All right, bro. But yeah, on that note, though, unless we got anything else from the crowd, we'll give it a second. I love these delays because they always feel awkward.
yeah. Trying to fill
Hey,
the time.
man,
5 seconds feels like an eternity, but it's actually not that long.
I just got to say, I appreciate every one of you that is tuned in, and I hope that you guys, come out to the event and just have a good time. Honestly, that's what we're all about. We're all about family and friends, and
Keep
good
this full alive.
vibes, good times. That's why we're here. So,
Heck yeah, man.
thank you guys.
All right, right on, guys. Well, on that note, thank you. Remember, for all your powder coating needs, call Battleborn. For any of your hot rod parts, give us a call, Operational Speed Supply, and we'll get you scored away. If you want the parts that we offer you to get powder coated, let me know, and I will take them to them, and then we will ship them out. We'll get you scored away. But on that note, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.